Hard players, Georgia just a boy in a dress Santos. Everything's out in the open. Yeah, there's nothing left to hide. Baby, when I tell you Georgia just a boy in a dress Santos done slid down a razor blade and landed in an alcohol river, honey, this ethics report. Y'all grab your tea and have a seat, honey, because after this report dropped, all of a sudden, Georgia just a boy in a dress Santos says that he's not going to seek re-election because his family needs privacy. No, baby, your ass is headed to the clink. Grab your tea, have a seat. Let's get into it. So according to this 56-page ethics report, George just a boy in a dress Santos was allegedly using campaign funds to buy Sephora, get Botox, and subscribe to people's OS. Oh, yes, honey. The ethics committee said that George just a boy in a dress Santos was using campaign funds to choke the chicken. So now they done referred his ass to the Justice Department. So this 56-page report from the Committee on Ethics is horrible, honey. And actually, there are several instances of criminal conduct that George Santos is not even being prosecuted for. These allegations make up the substance of their criminal referral to the Department of Justice. Of course, we know George Santos has already been indicted on 21 fraud and campaign finance felonies in New York. So they're saying that George just a boy in a dress Santos turned his campaign into an organized fraud operation to enrich himself. They say that George Santos stole money from his campaign and pocketed donors' money. He also reported fictitious loans to his campaign account to make it appear to prospective donors that he was more valuable than what he was. The committee said they interviewed dozens of witnesses during their investigation and reviewed over 170,000 pages of documents. So their investigation found that George just a boy in a dress Santos told the following lies about his background during his campaign: that he was a successful businessman, grandson of a Holocaust survivors, graduated from Baruch College, had an MBA from NYU, worked for Citibank Group and Goldman Sachs, owned multiple properties, was the beneficiary of a trust worth millions, and that his mother died as a result of the 9/11 terrorist attack. They also alleged that Santos falsely claimed on his campaign finance reports that he loaned his campaign a total of $800,000 to deceive future donors. They say that George Santos made loan repayments to himself from his campaign account totaling $31,200 when he never actually made those loans. He didn't have the funds to do so, honey. They say that he was only making about $55,000 a year. He didn't have that kind of money. They also alleged that he falsified the names of donors on campaign finance reports. He used real people's names next to fictitious donations to make it appear he had broader support. Child, he even spent thousands of campaign funds on travel-related expenses that seemed not to be connected with his campaign. That included funds spent on trips to Atlantic City, virtual skin spa for Botox, other spas in various locations out of his district, and also in Las Vegas. To add more insult to the injury, honey, he was also using those funds to make purchases on OF, Sephora, Hermes, and pay down credit cards and other debts. George Santos received $176,298 directly from Redstone, which is a company that he owned, despite claiming to others that he had no ownership stake in that company. And one more thing before I go, honey. During his campaign, he told people that he had 13 rental properties in Florida, saying how he suffered so much financially from the pandemic. He never owned any property in Florida. He also told his campaign staff that he owned a Maserati when he really owned a Kia Sportage. I wonder, was it an up-to-date one or was it one of them old ones? Because you know them old Kias, raggedy as hell. So again, the Ethics Committee has recommended that the House do something about this, and also they have referred a lot of stuff over to the Department of Justice. So George Santos has said that he will not be seeking re-election. I bet your ass won't. You going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Players, put your thoughts in the comments. This is Double D Mobile reporting for the George just a boy in a dress Santos. You're done.